this is some good energy. Okay, Sarah wants to talk to Thomas. I really like this person's, oh, thank you. I really love this person's personality because he's like, hold on, I gotta kind of like file through some things that he's saying, but I really love his personality because he's like, I kind of giggle because the analogy is that I'm making pancakes and I'm trying to ask him how he ends up passing. And then he goes, all right, so that's not very good. And then you flip it over and I'm like, okay, cool. So I flip the pancake over. He goes, and turns out that's not a very good side either. So I'm like, oh no. And so I'm just like, that's such a interesting way for him to put whatever it is he's trying to tell me. And I'm like, that's very interactive and very funny. And I just like his personality. Okay, he tells me he passes before his time. He was a big talker, right? Just starting big analogies with me. He tells me he does pass before his time, and it was really suddenly, and he goes down all at once. I don't know that he passes at like 18 by any means, but I think he just passes before it's expected. Okay, and then he draws me, hard to breathe. He goes, you know how your lungs take in oxygen? And I was like, yeah. He goes, imagine breathing, but no oxygen absorbs. He's like, your body like forgets what to do. And then so maybe what he's showing me is like he starts to go down like medically, right? And then maybe we start to, oh, you know what? He gave me a sign when I started earlier that was, situation kind of launches itself out of control. So maybe we're even aware of what a medical thing is, and we're like, a vent for a week before passing, oh my gosh. And he's sitting there talking about like, I'm like, man, my body's just not absorb. Remember when he's talking about the lungs and he goes, it just wasn't absorbing any oxygen. His body was just done. It wasn't doing what it was supposed to. So then he talks about this medical thing he's got going on and how he's like, well, we'll just see how this works out and we'll flip the pancake over and maybe that's when we put him on the vent and hope for a recovery no matter what ends up happening. And he goes and he flips over the pancake. He's like, yay! And didn't get any better. It actually wasn't going to get any better. And now that we look into it, it's actually progressed. And it just went down very quickly, very suddenly. All of this was made up. And all of this had come up. And so, who is this to you? By how he looks and his sarcastic personality, he comes off as like somebody's dad for sure. Just that, is he around or with my mom? Is he with anyone else on the other side? Okay, she's like, he is my dad. Okay, good. Just the goofiness, harass you, funny, like that's dad vibes all the way. Okay, yes, he's with your mom. He says he visits through music. He visits through music. So if there's that one song, or if they hear their wedding song, or if that one song was playing at his celebration of life and you hear it every other day and you just can't get it out of your brain, he's said he visits in the music. He goes, I visit her in dreams all the time. He sprays fresh cologne on one of his old t-shirts. So I don't know if your mom or you still have clothes that smell like him. Maybe we even have the cologne. We keep things smelling like him. He loves it. And then Sarah's like, he loved old country music. So now when they hear old country music, of course they're going to be reminded of her dad. And he probably comes on and swoons your mama through all that as well. I feel like the marriage must have been good because he feels very attentive to her from the physical world. Hi, hello Tracy, thank you for joining. And so, yes, what made him go on the ventilator? Because he said that it was some sort of existing condition, existing thing that just catapults out of control. And by the time it is like damaging enough for us to have to, go get it checked out, it was too late and nothing was working anymore and our body was already shutting down. So he needs your mom to know that there's nothing that could have been done. We couldn't have acted on it sooner. He goes, a good day's a good day, babe. A good day's a good day. So he talks about, honestly, we are going to look into the hospital for malpractice. Okay, so what ends up happening, like what gets us to the hospital is what I'm wondering. What sign gets us to the hospital. Because absolutely we got catapulted into chaos, and I would love to just clarify this as well. The list is closed. He felt like he was going to have a heart attack. So you're at home, he starts feeling like this, and then we rush him to the hospital, and then basically the way we say it's malpractice, because we're like, hey, this person's having a freaking heart attack and turning purple. And the hospital goes, okay, great, have a seat in the waiting room. We'll let you know when the next doctor is available. And they just don't put the urgency to it, which I feel is another way he's saying, like, that nobody can blame themselves. He goes, felt like I was having a heart attack. I was having a heart attack, he says. He goes, oh, I was, Kato, and it started earlier, and he goes, I don't know if I'll play that shoulda, woulda, coulda, but while he's sitting there, like, while you're in the waiting room, about to, you don't know if you're having a heart attack or not, he goes, I knew it was going to be the end. There's just something about it where you can watch your own clock tick in the back of your head, Kato. There's just something about that moment where people don't realize you can see tomorrow. You can see next week. You assume you're going to see next month. You guys can probably kind of see what you're doing for Halloween. You can kind of see Thanksgiving, Christmas from here. You can kind of see that. Imagine the days really there. And you just keep looking, and you literally you cannot imagine tomorrow. And then she said he was scared about not waking up from surgery. Did he just not wake up from surgery then? I was like, I could just know that I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I don't know. Hello, Michael. I was like, I just know I'm not going to be here tomorrow. It's not going to be here tomorrow. I'm not going to be here. I can see I'm not going to be here tomorrow. And she said he was terrified he wasn't going to wake up from surgery. Doesn't sound like there was a whole lot of time between surgery and a ventilator, so I'm assuming that his intuition was kind of right on the money, because he's sitting here talking about how when you know, you freaking know. When you see your tomorrow disappear and the screen goes blank, you know. That's a wild, intense reading, I'll be honest with you.